Alright, so now I'll show you Rationalism, which improves the ability to use and generate science. Adopting Rationalism will grant you 10% science while the Empire is happy. It'll unlock building the Porcelain Tower, which was not in before Brave New World, and now is. So now in order to build that wonderful scientific building, you must have Rationalism, which isn't all that much fun. And to get Rationalism, you'll end up having to be in a completely different era than the medieval era, where it used to be that way. Now you have to be in the Renaissance era, which is, it's kind of irritating because it takes a lot longer to get to the Renaissance era to get the benefits of science. And then adopting all policies in the Rationalism tree will grant you a free technology. It also allows the purchase of a great scientist with faith starting in the Industrial era. And then it has Secularism, +2 science from every specialist. Humanism, great scientists to earn 25% faster. Sovereignty, +1 gold from science buildings. Free thought, +1 science from every trading post, and +17% science from universities. Scientific revolution, which will boost your science gain from research agreements by 50%. If you get that, plus the Porcelain Tower, you'll get 100%, meaning you will be one smart cookie. So, Rationalism tree really hasn't changed that much. The only thing that has changed is the social policies have been mixed-matched around. And again, those of you that have played Civilization 5, Gods and Kings, and now Brave New World, you've noticed there's a bit of a trend on Rationalism. Each time it goes further and further to get, and I imagine in Civ 5, I remember when I first got the game, I was able to win a scientific victory a little bit way too easy, because you were able to just kind of abuse the way they had it set up. And then Gods and Kings, they kind of fixed it a little bit, where they pushed it back a little bit further, made it a little bit harder for you. And now they've even done it further. But it still is extremely easy to win a scientific victory if you so choose. And then another tip on Rationalism in itself and scientific, just science in general. Those of you that like to build a lot of cities, like to kind of have liberty and rationalism mixed in together. Quick tip: the more cities that you have, I believe you get 2% or 5%. It takes a lot more science in order to get the next technology. Now I know it's like, oh, so that's a bad thing, but essentially it is not. With all the libraries and scientific stuff that you're going to be generating, with trade routes as well, it really doesn't affect you, but rather it affects the AI. Those of you that have played in games where you have the Romans, let's say for instance, who makes tons of cities and they don't put anything in there. They just build cities upon cities, and you start to wonder how in the world they're doing it. It really hinders them, because they aren't able to build, they normally don't build libraries and scientific buildings in the beginning. They do later, not in the beginning though. So that really hinders AI. So don't worry, those of you that are playing and like scientific victories with lots of cities, it doesn't really hinder you too much. So enough about that. Civilizations that really do well with Rationalism and Brave New World. Shoshone do really well because they're very large empires. Another one that would do very well, Portugal does quite well with Rationalism. The Assyrians do very well with it as well. I know Indonesia can do well as also, depending, that one's a little bit more situational. And all the ones that I do kind of recommend for the civilizations, do remember that rationalism, exploration, and commerce, those three trees, are more situational than the rest of them. Mainly because they're further in the game, and the further you go in the game, you start to go on one track, and usually you want to stay on that one track in order to achieve a victory, so you don't really want to mix match things too much. So that's that. So please rate, subscribe, and comment. Those of you that aren't on Steam Guides checking out these videos and are on YouTube, check out my description. There's a link to the Steam Guides. Check out all my Steam Guides if you really want to. There's tons of civilization stuff, and those that are on Steam Guides, please check out my YouTube channel, and then also subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And in the next video, I'm going to show you the complicated, overcomplicated ideology system, which does include autocracy, order, and freedom. Yes, freedom. So, in that one, it's going to be quite long. So please, come join me, and I'll see you there.